Welcome to a motivational moment with DeAndre Carter. Before I get into what I have to say today, the first thing I want to do is I want to thank you. You who know who I am, and even those who don't know who I am just yet. But over the years, I've done motivational speaking and presentations and coaching for decades now. And one thing that I've heard consistently is people keep saying, DeAndre, you got to get on camera. DeAndre, you got to get on tape. DeAndre, you got to get this information out here. Thanks to you, I'm finally listening, I'm here, and we're about to do this on a weekly basis. We're going to bring you a motivational moment every week. We're going to fire you up. We're going to give you the excitement that you need, because life has ups and life has downs, and you got to make sure that you're prepared to succeed no matter what. And so that's the thing that we're going to do here. The first one is thinking about those moments where you're in a situation and the plan doesn't work. Or you're in a moment where you're in a situation and you prepared, but then something went wrong. Those uh-oh moments. So what happens when you have an uh-oh moment? You have to make sure that you still accomplish success even though the plan isn't going the way that you want it to go. It's kind of like programming in your GPS. You can put in the destination. That's the first thing you need to do, is I have a destination. I have somewhere I want to go in life. Then the GPS will give you the plan. Based on where you are now, this is the next step you need to take. But we've all been there that have used the GPS. There are moments in the trip where you got to make a turn that you didn't plan on making. You run into traffic and you didn't expect that traffic to be there. And you have to go off the initial route. And then this is the magic of the GPS. This is what makes the GPS so much more fabulous than a map. The GPS has one magic word: rerouting, recalculating. See, that's what you have to do in life. You got to reroute, you got to recalculate. It makes me think about a story, and this is a powerful story. I read this years ago, and it changed my life from the inside out. There was a guy who was a famous lion trainer for many, many years, and he was doing like his 1,000th show. He had been there and done that over and over again. But this night was different. See, he was at the circus, he's performing his show, he's in the cage with the lion, doing what he normally does, doing what he always does, doing what he's great at. And then he had an uh-oh moment. He had a moment where the lights went out. Let me repeat the scenario in case you missed what I just said. There's a lion trainer in a cage at a circus, and the lights go out. In life, sometimes life is going to try to knock your lights out. It's going to put you in a situation where you're in the dark. And I just want to give you 3 keys that help this guy in this situation. The first thing you need to do before you run into your uh-oh moments, is you have to practice in the light. See, sometimes we take for granted when things are going well. We take for granted when success happens. When success happens, we throw a party, and when failure happens, we throw a pity party. But I'm telling you that in the light, when things are going right, if adversity is not knocking at your door, those are the moments that you have to practice being your best. You have to practice being great. You have to work on your craft. You have to figure out what it is you're trying to do and do it at the maximum level. Because there will become a moment in your life where the lights go out. And that's the wrong time to start practicing. I work with college students. I've been working with them for years. And the number one thing that bugs me is that they may run into trouble. Your first semester at a large institution and you don't adjust well, that happens. I understand. So here they are, they haven't done well, and then I say, all right, well, let's start using some resources so that this doesn't happen again. And they say this sentence that just makes my skin crawl. They say, well, if I need it, I'll use it. Huh? If you need it. The circumstances, you don't wait till you're in trouble to start figuring things out. That's like waiting till your house is on fire to figure out how to use a fire extinguisher. No, you got to know that ahead of time. So you have to practice in the light. The second thing is when the lights go out, when you have that uh-oh moment, you got to calm your nerves. You got to be calm. You got to understand, you know what? Let me take a breath. Let me take a moment. Let me galvanize myself. Let me collect myself and figure out what I'm going to do next. Do not panic. Panic is not for you because you were great. You have to relax and say, I got this. Let me figure this out. Got a funny little story, a personal story. One morning, I'm going out to my car to take my daughter to preschool. And I typically it was a cold day in Michigan, and this year it feels like every day is cold, including today. It's May, y'all. It is May, and it is cold, and that was not a part of this message, but I'm mad about it. But let's get back to the story. So I go to the car. I start the car up, let it warm up. Typically, I'll go through my driver's side door. But today I went through the passenger door, started the car up, went back in the house, got the baby. So I go around to the driver's side door, I open it, and it's locked. I go to the back driver's side door, I try to open it, and it's locked. And at that moment I'm thinking, uh-oh, I've locked myself out of my car. Now, when I got in initially, I popped the trunk because I needed to get in the trunk. So my trunk was open. And so I got in the trunk thinking I can push the seats back in the back, reach up and open the door from the inside, and I'll be able to get in the car that way, so that, because I didn't want to spend all that money to call a locksmith to come let me in my car, because here my car is running and I think the doors are locked. So I get in the trunk. My daughter's standing right outside, and let me tell you this, I'm no expert at this. This is not a daily thing. I didn't practice in the light on this one. So this is my first time in the trunk trying to push the seat down. So my first push, I forget her car seat is there. So when I push, it doesn't move. The seat doesn't move, but the car moves, and boom, the trunk closes. I don't know if you can see my eyes right now, but I was surprised by that. It was a uh-oh moment, right? And the first thing I had to do is what I'm telling you to do. I had to calm my nerves, because I am locked in a trunk. And the thing that was shocking is that I can hear my daughter screaming, "Daddy!" She's scared, but I don't have an opportunity or time to be scared. So I relax for a second, and I figure it out, and I go to the other side where the car seat isn't. I push that down, I reach the lever up, and the first thing I'm thinking about is opening the door and saying, "Baby, Daddy's okay." Letting her know it's okay. She's like, "But I thought the trunk closed on you. I was scared." I said, "Don't worry, baby. That was Daddy doing a magic trick. Just wanted to show you how I could get in the trunk and open the car that way." And she laughed, and the moment was over. And what the best part about everything is that after I got everything situated, I realized the entire time one door was open, and it was the passenger side door. But the key about the whole story is calm your nerves when tragedy strikes. And the third one, going back to the lion trainer, and this is the biggest one of it all. So when you're going through life and you have an uh-oh moment and the lights go out, you might want to, you might be thinking, what happened to the dude in the cage with the lion? He implemented the biggest strategy I want you to think about. He learned how to believe in the dark. See, it's easy to believe in the light. It's easy to believe your plans are going to happen where everybody supports you. It's easy to believe things are going to go right when your plan isn't being altered. But what happens when the plan is altered? You got to believe in the dark. Because what happened that night is that the lights went out for about 30 seconds, and everybody in the audience was silent because they just knew that he was going to get eaten alive by that lion. He's going to die tonight. We're going to witness a man's life ending right in front of us. But when the lights came on, they noticed something real interesting. He still had that chair in his hand, and he was still cracking that whip. And for a minute there, based on how everything went, the audience thought, maybe this is all part of the show. Now that was phenomenal. That was excellent. Did you see the guy in the dark with the lion? This circus is amazing. Best ever, right? But then someone got a hold of him and they said, "Hey, was this planned?" He said, "Not at all. The lights went out. I had no idea the lights were going to go out." They said, "Weren't you afraid?" He said, "Yes, I was afraid. But I knew one thing." That's a secret key. You got to know your circumstances. He said, "The lights went out, but I knew that the lion didn't know that I couldn't see. So as long as I kept acting like I could see and doing what I would normally do in the light, even though it was dark, that the lion would respond the same way whether it was light or dark." So when I'm telling you those dark moments come in your life, you know what to do, right? You just keep cracking that whip. You're struggling in that class, you keep studying anyway. You're competing in business and the competition is getting an edge on you, you keep doing your research and you keep promoting your brand and you do what it takes, whether it's in the light or whether it's in the dark, because that's how you're going to get the victory. That's how you're going to get where you're supposed to be, and that's how you're going to perform magical moments in your uh-oh moments. So I hope that message has lifted your heart and inspired you. We will be bringing this to you on a weekly basis, and I am so excited because this is what it's all about, creating a greatness movement. We want you to be a part, helping you to be your best, the absolute best version of yourself that you can be. Make it a great day.